Now, no other generation of young men have grown up with literally thousands, hundreds of thousands of women at their fingertips. Before the internet, before dating sites, people used to meet their partners in person in school through family and friends. There was only a limited pool of people who were potential partners. But the most common way now for couples to meet is online. A third of people, in fact, now start their relationships on the internet, and experts predict that by 2035, over half of relationships will begin online. But have we stopped to think about the negative effects that giving young men an endless conveyor belt of female options is? We've all watched a few Attenborough documentaries in our time. We know that across the animal kingdom, it's the men that compete for the women, and humans are no different. Women get to sit back as men scrap over them, as men pay for the first date, as men make the first move. Quite frankly, I don't envy being a young single man in today's world. Now, I'm not saying that the world of relationships for women isn't difficult either, it is. But you go to any newsagent today, pick up any magazine, and you'll find pages and pages of women airing their opinions and their woes about love, men, and relationships. Who's talking about how tough men have it too? Where do men go to air their grievances? The reality is, finding love as a man in this day and age is all well and good if you're 6 foot with a permanent beach body and a beard, and a nice car, and a nice job. Well, the list of what's expected of men, or at least what men think is expected of men, by modern women goes on. What about if you're 5'7", chubby male, already balding in your late 20s and early 30s? No offence to any man watching who fits that description. We love you anyway. Or what about if you're not so good with words, not so good with speaking to women, not so confident? Where do these men go? Well, sadly, one place some of these people have unfortunately found a home is in incel culture on the internet. The incel movement are a huge community of lonely men on forums who say they can't find romance despite wanting to be in a relationship. But the reality is, young men using these forums can quickly become radicalized into woman-hating, violence-loving, terrorists. The incel movement has now been associated with at least 6 mass shootings and 46 murders in America. Plymouth shooter Jake Davison has also now been linked to the movement, complaining in YouTube videos about being a virgin and not being wanted by women. Let's be clear, this is a new social phenomenon happening before our eyes that can be traced right back to the internet, social media and dating sites. But what do we do with this group of young men who have become disillusioned with dating in the age of social media, who feel embittered that the hopes and dreams sold to them of finding love in a sea of women are dashed day by day as they swipe right endlessly and never get a swipe back? If we don't want a rise in incels and the violence that goes along with it, then perhaps it's time to start listening to this group of lonely men.